And welcome back to the hot stage. We are talking Hyundai Humiliation, but with a big question mark, because I don't want to be too cruel. I really like Hyundai. Their cars are lovely, in my opinion. But this is from Rally Journal. We're going to look at a couple of articles, and they're basically saying such WRC review, such humiliation hasn't been seen for a while. Can they recover? And I think you can make a good argument, to be fair, that Hyundai very much have been humiliated so far this year. They've won just one race. They're no longer really in contention for the Constructors' title because Toyota have won. Are they in contention for the Drivers' title? I think Tanak sort of needs maybe a near miracle. We'll have to see. But the 12th round, it said, of the championship, the Central European Rally, took place last weekend. Rally.com journalists deliver their ratings. And this is what I think. Toyota's incredible run just keeps on going. And we've got to talk about that. Kelly Rovanpera, Elvan Evans, yeah, really good. Seb OJ, really fast. 1-2 ahead of what was Tanak's, but let's be fair, 2024 rally car. Let's not forget that. At the same time, last time out, Toyota absolutely sealed the Constructors or the Teams Championship going into their home rally. The Drivers' title is also going to be decided among Toyota's own men, let's be fair. Elvan Evans, OJ and Kalle Rovanpera. They're covered by just 13 points. Tanak, meanwhile, is now 50 points adrift. Unlikely? Yes. Impossible? No. But and these rally journalists .com rate each top class driver on an old school 1 to 10 scale. But let's have let's look all the way then down to Hyundai. So Tanak did finish third, and it said that, and they're talking about that basically was the end of Tanak's title hopes. Hyundai used every trick in the book to help their Estonian. He no longer scored manufacturer's points, which was a plus in terms of what they could do with his car. He had last year's car available, which was faster than this year's car. That's depressing. Yet even that wasn't enough to beat the Toyotas. To be fair, Hyundai were looking strong at one point of the Central European Rally, but he suffered a bitter defeat to Evans in the end. It looked very close, but in the last couple of stages, Evans, yeah, you just knew it wasn't going to happen, which is kind of sad. Let's look at Hyundai's other driver, Formeau. And in the end, a rather lifeless performance from the Frenchman, they're saying. It looked promising at first, but once the stages got dirtier, Formeau was in trouble. He admitted during the rally that he had completely lost the feeling. They're talking about what is worrying is the lack of feeling now seems to show a lack of fighting spirit too. Have Hyundai just been beaten so much? Their morale is completely gone. It's just not nice at all, is it? Not good at all. So Nouveau, as we know, he ended up retiring. The reigning champ still couldn't score his first win of the season. I mean, this is the reigning champion. And if I'm honest, he's not got really that close to a win at all. Hyundai's car speared nose first, as we've already seen, into a bridge barrier on the final day, ending his rally there and then and earning a failing grade as a result. It's worth venting about Hyundai's miserable situation. With only 2 rallies remaining, they've taken just that one victory compared to Toyota's 11 wins. Now the team's already lost his chance of the manufacturer's crown, and practically speaking, let's be fair, the driver's title, barring a miracle. Such humiliation, they're saying, hasn't been seen in the WRC for a long time. It really makes you wonder, can Hyundai cover? They're talking a crisis even next season. I think they can. I absolutely think Hyundai can. Now, when we go across to Tanak, he speaks with painful honesty. So let's see what he has to say. So, as we know, empty-handed in this season's World Rally Championship, with potentially just the one win, depending on what happens in the next 2 rallies. However, would you at this point bet against Toyota? Probably not. So, as we know, Tanak was the best placed Hyundai driver. He'd collected 197 championship points so far. And the gap to the top of the driver standings, led by Elvan Evans after his, let's be fair, hello, welcome back Elvan Evans, return to form in the Central European Rally. And as I've already said, Tanak's 50 points behind. Now, theoretically, they're saying, as we are, Tanak could become champion. But there's little to suggest a miracle comeback, because you'd need a decent car, which Hyundai is, when they set it up right. And he said, we're not giving up, which is fighting talk. He said there are still 2 rallies left. And of course, we'll try to fight in these last 2 rallies. However, Tanak admitted, frankly, that his chances of winning the title are in reality kind of gone. He said, as far as the championship is concerned, we're no longer really in that fight. It's no longer our game. The chances are theoretical. Theoretical. But there are still 2 rallies to go, and of course, we'll try our best. Yeah, so I think even Tanak's kind of like, yeah, probably not going to happen. And I think Hyundai just have to try and aim to win the next 2 rallies if they can. I can't help but feel with the tyres, I think a lot of it has got to do with the way Toyota have found setups for the tyres. And that's, to be fair, something even Kalle Rovanperä, as we keep on saying it, has struggled with time and time again this year. He seems to have finally got it right. And I just think Hyundai haven't, for whatever reason. And it's really, sadly, it's really scuppered them. But there we go. If you made it to the end, an absolute massive congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back and consider subscribing. But until then, we'll speak to you soon. Stay tuned for more rally news. But above all else, stay safe.